Hello, all, it's Sharon. In today's video, I wanted to share another part of our apartment tour with you all. So in this part of the tour, I was going to show Nate's bedroom because it's just off the bathroom, and that was the last part I shared in the tour. But I'm going to save that to the very end, and I'm going to show you what the living room kind of looks like. Now, the living room acts as a homeschool room on the other side, which I'm not going to show in today's video. And then it's the living room by day and then my bedroom at night because we live in a one-bedroom apartment and Nate has the actual bedroom. But this looks into the kitchen, and this is the counter. Right now we have this fan up here because we do have central air, but with the cost of hydro, sometimes this is better if it's not too hot out to have this little fan running instead. And we have my wax melter up here, and then there's this little thing that Nate made with these little tiny frogs. And then this, I think I showed when I did the kitchen counter, but this is like Nate's little collections, little candy, stuff like that. And then when you come down from the counter, which leads into the living room slash my bedroom, there's these tools, like stools here, and they just have pillows on them from the Dollarama. And we just keep those up at the counter, or if we're sitting at this table. Now, this table is a coffee table, which there is 4 folding chairs for it. But underneath it is Nate's like hangout area. He often will go down there. There's like pillows down there, stuffed animals. You'll see cat toys down there. There's Pepper's like bed down there. They hang out together. He'll often put blankets on top here and make a fort out of this. His gaming stuff, tablets up here. Our drinks, like if we're sitting here, we use this for arts, playing games. I'll eat here, he'll eat here. We use it for everything, but mainly it's this hangout area. So underneath it just has an old crib mattress and like all this like plushies and stuff like that. So he'll often cover this all up and hang out down there. And then I'm just going to move over now and show you what my bed slash like futon, like sofa during the day. I'll show you what that looks like. And that's just right over here by the table. So yeah, this is when the bed's opened, and you can see into the homeschool area. I still have to organize that. But when the bed's open, it takes up most of the living room. So most of the time I just keep it closed. I'll show you what that looks like as well. So this is when the bed is closed, and it does save a lot of room. So it's just a futon bed from like mattress, and the frame came from Walmart. And then sometimes I have this blanket on here. This came from Temu. This has like Snow White character on it, and like a tree and some birds, and then it's kind of got like gnome characters on it. But if this is not on it, I'll show you what it normally looks like. So normally this is just what it's like, but we'll have that Snow White blanket on here for, you know, especially more like in the winter time, fall time. But most of the time it's like this. Now my living room, I'm trying to make it more, I guess, forest themed. But I do have these bee pillow covers. The pillows themselves came from IKEA, but the covers came from Temu. And they are bee themed. So we have that bee with the bow, and then Be Kind. And then this one over here, Be Happy. And then this one is Welcome to Our Home. And that came in a 4-pack from Temu. And then I have this Montreal Canadiens kind of like back pillow. And this I believe came from Walmart, and they gave it to me as a present. But then I just used the cover that's usually on the bed as like a cover for the actual mattress that's on here. I would like to get a lighter color one because I noticed it picks up a lot of Pepper's like cat hair. But yeah, this works when it's closed. It's much better than when it's open because, like I said, the living room is not that big. And the little bee pillows kind of will work with my forest theme. I did order a little Winnie the Pooh in like a honey jar. And I have some other like forest animals on my shelf, which I'll show you in a minute. So I did order that from Temu, so hopefully that will come, and it will kind of bring the bees from the kitchen into the living room, which you can find bees in the forest, so it kind of works. I am looking on Temu to find covers for these pillows that are more forest themed. So if I do find any, I'll definitely show you if I do like a haul from Temu. But yeah, I do like these pillowcases, and they're easy to wash too. You just wash them with hot water, and then you just hang them to dry. And then when at the end of the bed here, we have, like, I put the Snow White blanket here. Nate will usually cuddle with this when he's watching a movie or watching a show. But this is a green ottoman, And I do need to get a new tray because we used to have one on top of here because we'll move it in front of the futon and you know, set our drinks on it or put our feet on it, whatever we want to do. But that one cracked, so I do need a new one. But this green ottoman came from Amazon, and I'll open up and share what's inside with it in there. But we store a lot of our card games, puzzles, board games. It's perfect storage for that. It is a little bit messy because Nate tends to just throw everything back in here when he's done with it. I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, so just different puzzles, games. There's even some old Pogs that I had in the 90s. Different games, stuff like that. So it all fits in here. I do have to reorganize this. But then when we come up from this area, so I'll show you. I think my neighbors are on the balcony. And it is nighttime, but I'll show you the Christmas lights are out there. And that's just like over this way. So over here, I'm not showing the homeschool area, but where the balcony is, there's this easel here. There's a chalkboard on this side. This came from IKEA. And then there's some homeschool stuff, whatever we're working on the day is up at the top usually. And then Nate's like chalk is on this side. And then on the other side of it over here is the dry erase. So yeah, he just has all his markers down there. So I'll show you on the balcony. And then I'll also film in the morning time. And I'll show you what, like a clip of what it looks like during the daytime. And then we do have a little mobile there of the solar system above the balcony door. And then we have these little forest animals that came in a package from Amazon across the top. Because we're not allowed to stick anything on the walls. But there's a gap up there, so I was able to stick them down there. And then off the little heat vents, we have these spinning little, like, I don't know what they're called exactly, but they have butterflies on them. And there's like a hummingbird one at the bottom here. And a little butterfly that my mom gave him. One we got in town, and I believe the rest of these spinners my mom gave him. As you come down from there, this is our learning shelf. So I've done videos on this, but this month it's rocks and fossils, so it's kind of all set up. I did take down the holiday books. And then these are kind of my shelves, Nate's shelves. I collect a lot of things, so does Nate. We have like a little My Little Pony there. The picture of Jasmine, I believe, was from Dollarama. I like to collect coins, so I collect all the rare ones that you find in your loose change. And the letter S there, that believe, but that came from Temu. My mom gave it to me. And then we have this little house here with like a Snow White and lots of little forest figures. The mushrooms are from Dollar Tree. And then we have my, I believe these were called Zoom Zooms back a long time ago. And these are the ones I happen to have, so I just have them here in the front. Then when we come down from the shelf, Nate likes to build and make things out of paper, so this is kind of his shelf. These are some nature finds that we collected when we first moved here. We try to collect something for every color of the rainbow out there. And he's got this little pot here that a little girl gave him at a craft show. Some more Magna-Tiles and other paper crafts. And then down here is all my forest animal collection. And then in the corner here, this is the Minecraft house that is a fox. So Nate built it, and then he said that he wanted to display it on the shelf. So it's perfect for the shelf. And a little book that I just got at the thrift store kind of matches with this little shelf as well. I love forest animals. And then down here, there's binoculars, my planner book. There's an angel statue there. And then some of my, like, books and stuff that I like to read. Over here is this like little like shoe rack thing that came from Dollarama. This was by our front entranceway, but we moved to here and Nate kind of added this weighted blanket up here. and sometimes Pepper will lie up here. And then he has some of his toys that he plays with. So I let him leave them on the bottom, like the bottom shelf here. But this room here, it's probably pretty dark in there, but this has the furnace in here. So yeah, not much going on in there. But then when you come up from there, is this like ring from the Dollar Tree, and we, you know, hang things. Nate made this item here way back when it was Tartan Day, and he just wants to keep it up there. So I allowed him to. And then when you come here, it's just like the TV area. Yeah, sorry, kind of got caught off there, but oddly enough, I have a home phone, which I guess when we first moved here last September, it was like a deal where you had to get like internet, a home phone, and the cable package. So yeah, we have a home phone. Literally nobody has the number besides my mom, because it's technically like under her name, and just a random people call that number because I guess it's new. But it's fun to have a home phone in case, you know, it does come in handy in case there's an emergency and your cell phone's not working, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Nate's little collections. This little dog here, our good friend Monica gave it to him. His little Legos. We have some DS games and some old Super Nintendo and Nintendo games here. This little gamer sign here. And controllers and stuff like that. DVD player, more Lego. The system that plays the old Nintendo and the Super Nintendo games. I absolutely love that machine. Nate's been making these little, I think these are called like Pixel Block or something like that. They were on Amazon. He made this one here to look like Karen from SpongeBob. Lots of little figurines. This little guy, he can switch out the shirts. But yeah, fun. And then the TV is a Roku TV, which is like the best TV ever. As long as you have internet, you get like a lot of free shows on it, which I love. And converters. This came from a light that used to light up different colors from Dollarama, but it broke, but we saved the moon part and made some, we like use it as a coaster and stuff. And then when you come back here, there's like a mess of wires back there. But there's this shelf here that's supposed to go over your toilet, but I took out some of the bars and I put it here because it's odd, but they have the plug back here. And I guess if you could mount your TV, you could have it up there, but I didn't like how all the wires looked. So I put the shelf behind the TV to hide that kind of mess. And then I store, like, there's some library books up there, and then some other books I like. Books, like, a lot of them are, like, kind of like Disney themed. And then I have this picture here, which has my two sisters. I kind of put a sticker over them just to hide their privacy, because I don't have their permission. And then we have this little candle holder here. My mom actually made that with that like resin stuff. More of Nate's creations. And then up here on the top part, we have this picture frame that says family, and again to hide their like for their privacy. It's pictures of my nieces, so I just put a folder in front of it for now. I moved the roses from the kitchen into this Tim Hortons bucket. It was like a Timbit bucket. You could get the bucket separately, but I loved like the mountain scene, and I kind of thought it would go with my whole forest theme. And then Nate added these flowers around it. And when you come down here, these are more of my collections. Now this top shelf here is more of like my fortune telling cards and like oracle decks and stuff like that, and some books to go along with that. A villains book, just lots of little collection stuff. A horseshoe, because I used to work in Kitchener and I worked as a nanny, but they raced horses, so I have a horseshoe from that. Some astro dice. Those keys are from our apartment in Etobicoke. Different stones. And then the shelf itself, there's two of them. There's one over here of Nate's collections. They came from Temu, but I don't think they're available any longer. But down here is more of my collection. I have some really old Care Bears from the 80s. And then some of the other Funko Pops. And then there's more up there. Actually, my lemon meringue fell over. And Nate actually has another one of those because somebody gave me two of them. So, and then I used to have, our kitchen at our old place used to have a lot of Smurfs. So I have the Gargamel character as well. Lots of fun little characters. And then I'm kind of aging myself, but this little Beanie Baby here says class of '99. That's from when I graduated high school. And then down here is some DVDs. My Gem and the Holograms, I love that. That's the complete series. And some books and stuff, photo albums. These are all my high school yearbooks. My DVD collection is in this bin here from, I believe that was the ones that pull out like this are from the Dollar Tree. More like photo stuff, and I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with these two shelves. And then as you come up to Nate's shelf, there's his two money banks. This one is for his collectible coins. And then this painting, the little girl at the craft show gave Nate this painting as well, the same as the little pot that's on the other shelf. And then lots of little collections. His little lemon ring fell over too. Gotta get the stands for these. That's the other one. And like I said, we like to collect little things. Some things that Nate made up here. Shell collections, rocks. He made this like pet rock character here. This Todd gave him. I think it's a Cuban, I think 5 pesos or something like that. And his friend gave him this little worm character. And then his DVDs are up here. He's a big SpongeBob fan. Blue Jays hat, a little another Lego creation there. There's a little fish there. More of his DVDs. Rocks that he's found. More Lego. And then other little things. Again, Lego. And a little remote control Zamboni from Montreal Canadiens. Our neighbor gave us that. And then more Lego, mainly Minecraft. That pig house was really cool as well. And at the bottom down here, again Lego. There is some old McDonald's cups. And then he has this dog toy that was actually a dog toy from the dog that used to live at my mom's house. But sadly that dog passed away, so he put it here. And then he has this little area here with a little cross, and he made that for his last hamster that died, so I just let him keep it. But yeah, that's his little collection of stuff. And then up here is this plastic shelf, and up here we have the Gem and the Hologram dolls. So yeah, they're all up here. My other DVD and some of the old cassettes and the shoes, and then Nate's fan and my sunglasses. There's my favorite character, Roxy, there with the white hair. This one here with the purple shirt. And then Nate added these feathers here. This came from that Dream Catcher set from the Dollar Tree. And then down here we have when Nate got his first haircut. And then we have this thing that Todd gave him with the Go Bear. And then this Lego set. This little character here. This is the turtle he made when we went camping. And then this is the setup that he has for his dad that passed away. And lately he's been finding a lot of feathers, like that little tiny one down there, and this larger one there. And then he has this coaster that we got at a craft show of the band Queen, and that was one of his dad's favorite bands. And this candle from our local dollar store. And he made this dragonfly for his dad and his dad's favorite colors. Then we come down from that shelf is our snack area, because often he'll grab snacks and then not tell me what we're out of stock. So I thought I'd put these 2 yellow baskets here. That way, whatever we're out of stock, I know what we need. So like fruit snacks, some cupcakes, other candies and stuff is in here. I have to reorganize this. This one's like Pringles mainly, cheesies at the bottom. And then I have more DVDs at the lower shelf. So yeah, I have DVDs, Blu-rays down here. Lots of different ones, and again in these pull-out shelves from the Dollar Tree. And then this is my all-time favorite show. If you haven't seen Veronica Mars, it's worth checking out. So I have the 3 seasons of that, then the movies, and then they tried doing a reboot and it just lasted for 1 season. But I have those DVDs because I absolutely love that show. But yeah, that's the shelf. And then when you come along here, there's this scarf that Nate gave me that I believe came from Dollarama. Got the poppies, but I decided to hang it here. And then here you'll see this floral garden that me and Nate made, and this leads into Nate's bedroom here, but that'll be in another tour. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you all what our living room looks like. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Take care and bye for now.